A lot of the things I can't remember.
Oh.
You know, remember this place or that place.
Yeah, it was crazy times.
Here's the fight with Charlie Joseph, New Orleans, Louisiana.
Is it VCR or what?
Yeah.
Is it? No kidding.
So now that's kind of,
Yeah.
so we do, This Is Your Life.
A lot of times, you'll hear somebody say, trained fighter would never even compete with a trained fighter.
Yeah.
You know, it just really, the thing of it is, there's my record, my amateur record right there. See, there's my amateur record right there, Russ.
Okay.
Carl, that's Carl's writing, not mine. Carl kept the record, I wasn't smart enough. One of the smartest guys that I did fight was this little guy down here, and it was really, really smart. Where the hell? He was really. See, this Ernest Anthony, he fought Archie Moore for the light heavyweight title. Who's this other guy? He was really, Isaac Vaughn.
Then he went down to Philadelphia, and Johnny Saxton upset him and won the title from him. Now I'm the #1 contender, and they're bypassing me, and so they took Tony DeMarco. He's been the title against the boss, and it backfired on him. DeMarco. It's way down here. Okay, now, if a guy throws the right hand to you, you don't go like this. How about that? You know, all you got to move is the thickness of his fist. Okay, so now this and the inside and the right cross. This is orthodox boxing. Look at this defense. Nothing. I mean, it's a joke to the human race. To anybody that knows anything about boxing. Okay, this guy here was just a dummy set up. He wasn't supposed to win. But look at this. Look at this left hand. You know what? When the left is out, that right is in here. When the right goes out, the left is in here. If a guy throws you, you're gonna miss, and they'll get you with the second punch. So this drives me nuts. I mean, anybody can be that bad and be champion of the world. He wouldn't last one round with our heavyweights today. Believe me, he wouldn't. Good panache. I am here to speak to you. And an explanation of panache, really, you should have a feather in your hat and flamboyant. That's panache. And
Let's try it.
yeah. I've got 20 minutes to talk. If we come to the 20 minutes, just check to say, okay, you're done, Bill. And then we can reschedule it at a later date. If I say enough, they can give you enough to capture your interest, okay? I'm not a professional speaker. I've got some notes here that I'm going to go by. Salesmanship is a big part of boxing. Compliment the situation by stating that everything I did, I never would have done without Carl Goddard. My manager, trainer, and foster father, guardian. He's the first person that ever said to me, like we was doing some building, and he said, "Hey, please give me the hammer." You know, I'm just a little kid, please. You know, so stuff like that, you remember. And without him, I'd have been just another kid walking the street. We've got talent all over Jamestown. I get kids coming to me and they teach me this and this and this. I mean, I can't afford to, but the talent is there. It's the coach's job to bring it out, because they don't know they have it. They don't know they got the talent. So, but it's there. It's there through the proper instruction. Okay. Yeah. I told Carl I was going to talk at this meeting, and he says, "Don't forget to give thanks to the Lord." And then he says, always tell people, you get down on your knees and give thanks to the Lord, you can stand on your feet. I get letters from Carl all the time, and he's always telling me, follow Jesus. He don't tell me how he is. You know, I wondered how the guy, how is the guy? You know, he says, follow Jesus, read Proverbs. You know, and I'm wondering how Carl is, and he's preaching to me all the time. And Carl is like 73, 74 now, and I would venture he'll do 50, 75 sit-ups and push-ups every day. He never quit. I can do 300 push-ups. You know, not at one time. I'll do 75 or 100, and then 25 or 50, take a break. You know, I don't want the attitude I'm going to do it if it kills me, because it might. You know, it might.
Where is Carl?
He's Murphy, North Carolina right now, and then he goes to Florida in the winter. But
How big of a stable did he have?
we had Buddy Jackson, JoJo Red Eye. He probably had 12 or 15 fighters. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
He's a trainer.
Yeah. But the luck I had was I ran into a real Christian, and he wasn't in it for the money. He was in it for the game. And a lot of managers are in it for the money. See, so if say we get a kid come here out of Jamestown, and we want to fight him down in New York. Okay, so this book comes out every year. This is Nat Fleischer Ring Almanac. In the back of it are managers and trainers. So say you want to fight a kid in New York, you get a hold of a few of the New York managers down there, and find out they want me to fight Jake Schwartz. What kind of kid is he? You know, you don't want to overmatch your boy. The fighters, their records are in here. If your fighter's up far enough, he's going to fight named fighters, and you're going to know. But if you don't know, you gotta walk gingerly before you start throwing your kid in with the Milo Savages or the Henry Hanks. You know, these guys are middleweights fighting light heavyweights get fights because the middleweights wouldn't fight them. You know, I mean, in LaMotta, you know, you don't fight LaMotta unless it's a title shot. You know, you want the money on the line because you're not going to be the same person after you fight LaMotta.
Why was he so good?
He wasn't good. He was a bronze bull.
Cool.
You know, he'd wear you out punching him. But one thing they say about fighters that they say, well, that guy, he lost all his marbles. You know, when he could fight, and that's one of his prices. But I always carry a marble. So nobody can say I lost all my marbles.
Good for
I
you.
got one left. Another expression is, oh, that guy's elevated, don't go to the top floor. But I always carry a marble. I just enjoy it. I enjoy the little knack of telling people why I carry it. So there we go. Now another part of training.
Hey, Billy, just for our purposes, how'd you get started in the boxing?
I was broke.
You're broke. That's an honest answer.
No, I was raised in foster homes, and I was a hired hand on a farm, and Frankie Chekla, him and his family owned the Springville Dry Cleaners, a little American-Italian family, Frankie Chekla. And my foster mother at that time, when Frankie came in, said, "Hey, meet Frankie Chekla. He fought in the Golden Gloves." You know, so I was pleased to meet him, you know, and hear his messages. So then Frank told me that there's a guy up in Springville that's got a gym up there. So I hitchhiked up there, and he was busy, so he says, come back on the following Thursday or something like that, or a week or something. So I went back, and I just started training, you know, and then, you know, he hit me, but I'd keep coming, you know. You got to be able to endure pain to fight. If somebody hits you in the mouth, you say, "Oh, this, I'm going home." You know, if you got that kind of an attitude, you're not going to make it. But if you keep your chin down, but of course you don't. When you first start out, you don't know this. You know, and the guy was racking me pretty good. But as I progressed, he quit sparring with me. You know, I'm learning the things that he taught him. One time, Rocky, Kansas, out of Buffalo, came out to see me spar, and his real name was Tony Tony Torzo, and he fought under the name of Rocky, Kansas. And he came out and Carl wanted me to show Tony how good he was. Well, I'm pounding on Carl's head to show Rocky kids how good I am. And then after the fight, Carl got mad and hell at me for hitting him so hard. But he wanted me to show Rocky kids how good I was. So, but as you're a novice amateur come up, you don't know how to take it easy. You don't know how to take it easy. I admire some fighters that between rounds they'll give a nice tap. It shows that they're keeping their coolness. You know what the hell happened to me? I fought Jimmy Skinner down in New York at the St. Nicholas Arena, and just prior to my fight, Rocky Graziano's manager comes by, and his name slips me right now. I can check the book and I could give you his name, but he's telling me how Graziano used to get mad. He says, you want to fight, you got to get mad, you know. Okay, so he gets me all hepped up, you know, I'm a green kid, he gets me all hepped up. I go out there and I'm fighting this, and I'm mad, and I'm banging away like this here. Jimmy Skinner's there, he blocking every damn thing I saw. Or everything, he blocked everything I threw. About the fifth, sixth round, I was out of gas. You know, so I mean, I just told Carl I've had it. You know, but because instead of having my talent, right to the body, right to the head, double hooks, nice stuff, I'm banging away because I got mad. I want to be like Rocky Graziano. And I just shot my wad, and it cost me the butt. I never done it again. It's a stepping stone that you learn. You know, as you're going up the ladder.
Well, you know, up in the Buffalo area, certainly there was an era in Buffalo where boxing was really king. And did your paths, you mentioned Rocky, Kansas, he was a lightweight champion. Did your paths cross with Jimmy Goodrich?
James Moran was his real name.
Is that right?
Yeah, James Moran, yeah. He owned a restaurant and bar out in by Lolly's amusement park in Golden on the Beach.
Is that right?
Yeah.
What was he like?
Yeah, he was all right. Jimmy, you know, he wanted to buy my contract.
Did he?
Yeah, he says, I'll buy your contract, we'll go to New York and make a lot of money. Yeah, Jimmy Goodrich, yeah. He was always shooting the ball. Cigar smoker, yeah. But the training program that should exist, a lot of trainers, they'll spend 80% of their time trying to cultivate 20% results. But the real knack is in 20% of your time, get 80% results. It's less work and there's more value, and you're getting more done in less time. Time is a big factor. But you take a kid coming out, they don't know how to stand. The first thing people ask is how do you stand? Okay, your feet are under you. Okay, so then I think I was in the Springville gym maybe for a week or 2 weeks, and all I was doing was stepping and jabbing, step and jab, step and jab, step and jab. Okay, you're dropping your jab, keep your jab up. You tell a kid 50 million times you're dropping your left hand, he's still gonna drop it until he gets it. You know, when they get it, you can kind of rest it in here too. But once you get that jab, once you got it, out and back, I mean, you get it. You know, and then you don't think about a right to the body, right to the head, hook to the mouth. You throw it because you're trained to do it. You do things because you're trained to do it. And we'll carry on.
How many punches were you throwing a 10-round fight average?
I wouldn't have things like that. They didn't score them in those days. Yeah, but like salesmanship is a big factor because, geez, you know, if you go into a gym today and these kids come in and they want boxing training, they want to be boxers, they got to start learning quickly. You're going to lose them. You know, if they're not learning enough, they're not going to waste their time. Okay, they're going to come in. They're going to have their hat on sideways or on backwards. They're going to have their pants on backwards. The crotch is going to be down at their knees. You know, and I'm saying to myself, I wonder which promoter would want to promote this. You you know, so you got to groom them around a little bit. That and bottom line in boxing, how much money can I make? And another good sign, you want to get them to bed early. If your competitor is getting a good night's sleep, he's going to bed at 10, 11 o'clock at night, and your fighter's going to bed at 4 o'clock in the morning, who's got the chances of winning the damn fight? Okay, so you tell your fighters, okay, kids, we got to get to bed early at night. You got to get a good night's rest. I like you to breathe that morning fresh air. Get out and get that fresh air, you know. So, a couple of days they come in. My girlfriend says you hate her because she wants to stay at 4 o'clock in the morning. You know, she says you hate her. So these are hurdles that you have to come over. You don't get the college kid in training. Supposing the kids that come in to fight, a lot of them are delinquents. They're about ready to get kicked out of school, and say you're training a kid and you tell him something you don't like, you'll call your mother after, you know. Well, what are you gonna say? I'm gonna throw him out because he called me a lousy name. You know, you act like you didn't hear it. You know, because it's not so much the mother effort, it's the way the kid was brought up, and he doesn't have a better word for expressing his feelings. So rather than let the kid's career go to hell, you just bypass it, you know. You're telling me if I ever get you in the ring, it's going to cost you a good left hook on the mouth, you know. But there's a lot of good fighters are ruined because of damn little things been said that don't amount to squat diddly. You know, bury it, okay? So, yeah, I went to the fights down here, street fighting in a ring. I mean, you can run into some really decent amateurs, but basically they're not as back in the 50s. We had some good competitors, and we were leaders in the Olympics. Now other companies are coming on and having more boxing winners in the Olympics than us. The big thing is dropping the left hand. A simple thing like a right cross, you know, and it's there. And another nice touch, you can knock a guy down with a jab. You put that on his mouth, and he's going to know it. And another nice part about it, you can jab, and then with the 1-2, you put it up to his eyes. You see, you get it to his eyes, and then when it's coming down, you see the right hand is there, because he won't even see that right hand coming. That's the 1-2, bang, bang. And the 1-4, you throw 1, he blasts you in the mouth with 2 and 3, and then you throw 4. That's the 1-4. Yeah, you catch 2 and 3.
Yeah, are you trained to take a punch, or is that a God-given gift that you have to be able to take?
Yeah.
Can you train to do that?
What you do, you don't get into a hitting. You keep your chin down, you know. If you keep your chin down, you're not going to get hit. You chin down, and you got your shoulders. But I fought, my last fight, I fought Bobo Butler. He was a light heavyweight. He weighed me by 10, 12 pounds. He had rings in the back of his neck, a black kid. And I knocked him down with a jab. You know, I knocked him down, but it was on the button. And I didn't think I hit him that hard. And when he got up, his eyes were glassy, so I knew I had him, and I just didn't believe I did it. But it's not how you hit; it's where you hit. You know, the pit of the stomach. And one shot I never pulled it is the one over into the side here, because I always thought it was too close to a kidney punch. You know. But you watch the line, and these big pros, they bang the body right in here. You know? I always went for the pit of the stomach, you know. Next thing you hear him go like that, you know you got a good head. But then like I say, the professionals fight with pain. You fight with pain, you cover it up. Okay.
I have your dinner for you.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. You will. I'm a slow eater anyway.
What memories do you have of your first professional fight?
It was in my first fight was in a skating rink in Angola, New York. I fought Al Cooper, and I lost the decision. I fought him 8 fights later and beat him because of the advanced training. I got training, he didn't get it. But like I say, I compliment the situation with Carl. So I could brag all I want, and you know that it's not bragging, it's complimenting. I sneaked out of it.
Billy, did your paths cross with red cars at all?
He was a sports writer.
Well, he was the trainer. He trained Jimmy Slattery and Goodrich and those guys. Was he pretty much out of the business when you were doing that?
Yeah, I'd say so, yeah.
Yeah. He just died a few years ago at about 101 or something like that.
Jack Singer was down there, Dad, by the time I got going. He died in the 50s, probably. Junior Singer ran the gym up there. But I met Rocky Marciano. I met him at there was a testimonial dinner for Joe Masters. He was an assistant New York State Athletic Commissioner. And Marciano was at that dinner. And I met Archie Moore, Ray Robinson, Basilio. And
Was Jimmy Slattery, was he alive then when you were there? I was just trying to think.
I think he died in the 40s. But the thing of it is, there's a picture of Slattery in the ring record book. Jimmy Slattery should have been a movie star, not a fighter. He was gorgeous.
Yeah.
Very, 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 very handsome man. And I'm telling you, he was so gorgeous, the women were just falling over him, you know. And he started out saying, no, this. And then well, maybe. When the women got better looking, well, maybe, you know. And he got after the ladies pretty good, but he was a young man too.
Were there role models up in your, when you were going through Springville and at your early age, were there role models within the gym where you said, gee, I'd like to be like so-and-so?
Not really. I'd rather beat so-and-so. I'd like to fight so-and-so. But boxing is an extreme form of individualism. No partners, no comrades, no friends. Boxing's like dying. You fight alone. You know? And I always had the attitude, I'm going to win fights and I'm going to lose fights, but they're not going to get a gift tonight. If they beat me, they're going to earn me. I came to town to fight. So I wasn't too good at warming up. I warmed up in the dressing room. When I came out, I was ready to fight. Yeah, I guess I was, yeah.
How many pro fights did you have?
I didn't have too many, but maybe 13 or something like that.
That's 12 more than that.
But I quit. I got a letter there from Ray Arcel that he wanted me to go to New York, and that was a good turn. And my wife didn't want the flamboyant life of a boxer, and I was working, selling on the road, and I was having trouble with keeping my job, and I didn't adjust to the business end of it. In order to get a fight in New York, like there was a guy in Syracuse, and he wanted, like, if you give him $500, you get the fight in New York. Well, maybe the fight would sell for you get $2,000. But I said, what the hell am I giving this guy $500? I ain't gonna do it, you know. Well, you didn't get a fight. But this guy in Syracuse is in the business. The promoter in New York wants upstate New York fighters, but he wants good fighters. This guy in Syracuse He's gone away from his family, he's gone out to fights, he's gone to gyms, he's watched fighters, so he can refer you to the guy in New York. There's a big promoter. They want two things. They want a boy that's a good showman, and they want a boy that they can build a championship quality, that they can make the big bucks on. Because you run your Friday night fights or something like that, you run no fights, they're probably just making a living at it, you know? But your championship fights.
Did you mention, Billy, to me that you were on the undercard for the, was it the Robinson Basilio fight?
Yeah, September 23rd, 1957, yeah, semifinal. But the fight went the distance, and the television time, so actually the semifinal bout went on after the main event. I'm up there fighting and everybody's walking out. You know? But one guy stayed, was Monsignor Nayland. He was in Delaware, New York, as a pasta mission, and I was in the provision business, and he was one of my customers, the pasta mission, and he was in New York on something else, and he went to the fight. He was sitting there ringside. Really surprised me, Monsignor Nayland. And I'm not a Catholic either.
Were you ever knocked out, Billy?
I got stopped.
And what's that feel like? What's the sensation to get knocked out?
I wake up the next day and say, what happened?
You just have no sensation?
It's just a sleep, but you can get knocked, I mean, if you get knocked down, even for 1 or 2 counts, you know, so. But when we used to work out at Singer's Gym, and when Jimmy Watkins and I we'd spar in practice in Singer's Gym with 12-ounce gloves and headgears. And when Jimmy Watkins and I would spar, everybody in the whole damn gym would stop and watch the good fight, you know, because we'd have a good fight right there at Singer's Gym. And one time I knocked him down with 12-ounce gloves on, and headgear to 12 ounce, and I knocked him down. Well, and then the someone got him and knocked me down. I mean, it was a good fight. Well, everybody would quit their training and I'd watch us two go at it, because it was a good show.
Is everybody okay? Does anybody need anything to go with their lunch? I just want to make sure. Anybody need anything to go with their lunch? Is everybody okay? All right, enjoy.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'll tell you something that you might not know. Jimmy Braddock gave Joe Louis a title shot. But the terms of the contract was Braddock would get 10% of Lewis's winnings. Imagine that. Every fight that Joe Louis ever fought, Jimmy Braddock got 10% of Lewis's purse. I don't think they'd allow a fight like that today. It's given the person too much incentive to lose the damn fight. Yeah. You know what I mean? But that's just a tidbit that I know. If you research it, find out true about it. Jimmy Braddock, 10%. Lewis got to pay, they wouldn't give him a shot.
What's your impression of Don King?
He's not a guidance counselor.
Did you know the Moscato brothers up there?
Yeah, Phil and Joe. I sparred with Phil once.
They're both heavyweights, weren't they?
Yeah. When Phil Moscato fought Memorial Auditorium, he packed it. He packed the auditorium. But he didn't know nothing. He fought like damn Corbett. Slamming, bang, bang. Guy Sulpy was his manager, and he wasn't even a good... Phil Moscato made a lot of money, but he didn't give a good husband. He didn't know how to handle it. And Guy Sulpy, he buys a bar on Buffalo Street with Phil Moscato's. And then everybody was in the till. You know, I mean, just a nice guy that they just took advantage of it. Yeah, I knew Phil, and I knew Joe too. I met Joe later on in life. I think we were at a boxing match in Buffalo. Maybe when Bobby Scanlon fought Jackie Donnelly. I might have met Joe at that point. I hear they're both deceased now.
I think so.
And I understand they were from Dunkirk.
Yeah.
You right?
He raised, him and his brother were raised at the home.
Yeah.
Boys' home.
Who's the three of them? Three brothers?
The three brothers. I know for Phil and Joe were the ones who became the boxers. Sam was the other.
I mean, you know, if you had the fighters, if you had good fighters, where you could bring in national amateurs, you could make a deal with College Stadium and pack it with people. And but you gotta have the fighter. See, you can't bring in national champions. The thing to do, you know, you get a gym, you get kids started. You know, first thing I used to do, I had a gym up in Arcade, and I was with the Striders for a while, and we got into an argument over funding or something like that. And I split with the Striders. But get a kid like this Timmy Brown I had, and when I had a gym in Arcade, I ran his picture in the paper. Tim Brown training for Golden Glove competition. Okay, his school teacher came to me and he says, you wouldn't believe the improvement in that kid. You know, he says before I couldn't even talk to him. You know, and you know, give a little husband key towards them, and it changed their whole outlook on life. They got something to live for. I mean, it works.
How about your amateur career?
I had 99 fights and I won one, so I quit while I was on a winning streak. You catch me quitting, though, loser.
Bill, I can relate to, you showed that film about the left arm recorded down.
Yeah.
My father taught me how to box when I was a kid. So some of you guys know my father was a professional. Well, I was a softball. And like you said, chin down, I had my hands up, but what I forgot, when I threw the jab, and he countered, and I'm stopping the glove, but I forgot to tighten up my arm. I'm getting my nose smashed with my own glove. I mean, I know what you're talking about. Boom, I said, that's a tough sport.
When you first start fighting, you got to think of everything. You got to keep my hands up, you know. And after a while, you know, the guy will jab you and he'll hit your glove. You know, so you don't have to think about that hand no more because it's there, because it's trained to be there. Then you go on to other thoughts. But combination punches, they come to you. You do them because you're trained to throw them. You don't think I'm gonna right to the by right hand and hook to the mouth. You just do it. And then Charlie Joseph had a good punch. You take both hands like this and box your ears. It didn't do squat diddly, but it was good showmanship. You know, it was a good showman punch.
Get one both.
Yeah.
How about Jimmy Clark? Did you know him?
Yeah. Jimmy was way over the hill. When I met him, he was way over the hill. But Jimmy Clark came along at a time when there was no sheltering of the Negro. They threw him in with everybody, and he kicked ass. He beat people that he wasn't supposed to beat. You know, he was he had to be a hell of a warrior. In fact, I've been thinking about writing a Nat Fleischer just to get like a 1945 Ring Almanac that was available, just to get Jimmy's record. But he fought Teddy Arrows. There's another guy in the ring record book that made Webster's Dictionary. He's a fighter that made Webster's Dictionary, and I got to think what his name is now. His name was Norman Selby. The guy's name is Norman Selby, and he made Webster's Dictionary. And how he made it, he fought under the name of Kid McCoy. He didn't use his own name. Kid McCoy was his fighting name. And he fought for 10 or 15 years. And then when he quit fighting, some other kids come along. And they fought under the name, they liked the name, Kid McCoy. So they went, Kid McCoy's fighting tonight. So he comes like, hey, wait a minute. I'm the real McCoy. You see? So Webster's dictionary picked up on that. And the real McCoy in the dictionary is written as an article that is original or authentic. You see, that's the real McCoy. Hey, wait a minute. Yeah, you guys ain't the real McCoy.
Jimmy Clark beat Tony Zale.
Yeah.
They fought twice. And Clark beat him the first time, and then Zale beat him the second
He
time.
knocked him out.
Yeah.
They knocked each other.
Yeah.
But Tony
That's in the ring
Zale,
record book.
Tony Zale was nice. He was gorgeous. Rocky Jackson was one of the same room. Yeah, I know.
If you were to pick the top 5 boxers,
Willie Pep, Ray Robinson, Zale.
Women, boobs, you know.
See, Ali is after me. He was a good fighter, but he was a master of range. He kept everybody out of range. He's gained, he danced way out where they can't hit him anyways. But when he came in, when he came in range, then he closed up. You see?
He grew up on this.
The dumbest thing in the world, the dumbest thing in the world, the dumbest thing in the world is chasing. If it's two steps ahead, one back, two ahead, one back. This is a two ahead, one back. You know, you've got chasing me, you're gonna run. Look at Lady Di. If they went 40 miles an hour, those damn, whatever, how do you call them? They're not gonna drive 80 miles an hour.
Davey O'Brien.
We can drive 80 miles and get away, you know?
As soon as you got into the real.
It cost her a damn
They
life.
killed him.
If she'd have stayed with her husband, it was better for worse than that's the fight, she'd be alive today.
How old were you when you used to silver? Remember when
She
Friday
made
Night
the deal
Fights?
to marry the guy.
Tim was about 5, 6 years old.
About a half ago.
So he run around.
Wednesday night fights,
How many
Friday
dogs?
night fights.
Yeah, but you didn't see many Wednesday night fights. You were over there on Friday night.
We're just from the holidays.
My dad and Uncle Doc.
But anyway, if she'd have stayed married, she'd be alive today.
Oh, who was
She'd have
gonna
some
learn?
prince in some damn hotel.
Put a buck on a white horse in the upper dock.
Never missed.
you ever boxing
Yeah.
Jamestown?
It was Gillette. Gillette. And who's the beer?
That was not tape.
Pabst. And you know, he's
He's still alive. I met Pep once.
Thank you. Complain about it. Yeah.
I met him in New York. I think he owned a bar now.
Because the way the sport has changed, or?
Yeah, Willie Pep was the dirtiest fighter that ever walked on the face of the earth. Yeah, I got some pictures that I haven't seen sad. But what happened, Pep could never beat Sadler under even terms. He had to really beat him. And why he got dirty was to upset him, upset the turn of his section. Sadler, big Willie Pep, that's what he deserved. You know, Willie Pep, he wasn't turning it off.
About the third year, we go over to, for a haul and dump it, you know, like the
But he
end.
was one of the nicest boxers. He had a shift, he could shift, you know, like this, and you didn't know whether he was going to hand or hook. You didn't know. He was gorgeous, really gorgeous. You watch Willie Pep fight, you saw an art, a master. But then, when it comes to Sadler, he couldn't beat Sadler. Just like Mike Tyson biting that guy in the ear. The thing was, Tyson was getting out kicked out of him. He been nailed a few times. I got knocked down once. I got knocked down 3 or 4 times at the Rochester House Club. And I won the fight and didn't remember anything about it until the next day. I didn't remember going home that night. You see? The next day they told me I won the fight. What? Mike Tyson now, he was fighting this guy and he bites his ear. Well, he got nailed a few good shots and he got frustrated. Part of his brain didn't get thinking, right? So who got that guy's ear in your mouth? You know what I mean? So anyways, he bites the guy's ear through a stage of frustration. And plus a mental blockage. He'd been nailed in the head a few times. A part of his brain wasn't working, right? So the athletic commission fines him $1 million. You know, I'd like to find $1 million to bite somebody in the ear. The only reason they find it is they knew they could get it.
It's in here.
But then I'd like a financial statement on what that commission is doing with that money. You know, they should submit, you know, whose pocket is it going into? What good is being done? I'm gonna be shocked.
In your period, what could you win for a cash purse for a fight?
Depends on, championship cards pay more than $150, $300 bucks. These are for 6-8 rounders. But it depends on where it's at and who the promoter's at, and if they want to build you to keep your interest. And,
Billy, was that promoter in Syracuse, was that Rothschild, Norm Rothschild?
no, he was a Pontiac dealer.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Remember outside, yeah.
Remember, Norm?
Yeah. But,
He came to a lot of
Like Dumpty.
the other matchmaker there was when you see Basilio fight, he's in the ring with Basilio.
Right.
We got all the
I think
championships, like the big
it
place.
could be Herb Robbins, could have been his name. But,
I remember Rothschild would come to Jamestown for those sports dinners, and he would either bring a Basilio or a Billy Backus later.
John, he bring it to John.
DeJohn, that's right. Was it Mike or Joey?
Joey, Phil, and Joey, John, and Mike and John.
Yep.
Joey's the one he'd have brought.
Okay.
Yeah. 6-round champion. You take Holly 6 rounds and run out of gas.
I love
Where
that.
do the referees come from? How do they learn to be a referee? They read the book, huh?
Whatever happened to Jackie Donnelly?
He's the last I heard, he's got a gym up in Buffalo.
Does he?
Yeah. But he didn't belong in the same ring with Bobby Scanlon. That little Bobby Scanlon got really, really gorgeous. What a treat to see him move and the punches, you know, the uppercuts and the straight right hand, the timing, parrying in the punches. He just got overall general ringmanship really nice. Really nice.
Now, who's that? Scanlon?
Bobby Scanlon, yeah.
What happened to him?
He got drunk and burned himself up in a hotel room smoking. Damn shame. He was one of Father Baker's boys.
Was it?
Yeah. Yeah, but what a gorgeous, just beautiful. When I go to the fights now, I have more enjoyment walking and mingling with the crowd to see some of the old Tigers. The camaraderie of seeing a few guys that you'll never see them anyplace else except at a boxing match. You know, you're always looking to see who's there. You know, Clem Lucier was there in Dunkirk. He was always there.
But Joe Messi, did you happen to go up to Buffalo and see that fight at all?
No.
No?
But I think he's coming pretty good, but he's got to get down there. He's got to get down to New York. That you don't have enough sparring partners in Buffalo.
Yeah.
Heavyweight, you got to have sparring partners. The trouble with heavyweights, they spar with middleweights, and they got to hold back all the time because you can't nail middleweight. You beat up your sparring partners and they'll quit. You know? And the more you get them, you got to start hiring your sparring partners. And a sparring partner, he's got to drop his left hand, so the fighter gets a feel putting that right cross in there. Sparring partner, I mean, for a champion, they tell you what to do, and they'll tell you don't go double hooking him. You know, they don't want you knocking out the champion. But what they'll do, they'll give you a fight. You get paid for the training, then you get on the card. You get an underball. A good sparring partner, boy, you want to keep your damn chin down. You know, because you don't want the champion looking too good on your head. Yeah.
What do you think about this kickboxing?
You know what they're doing? Kickboxing, they are giving examples of a trained performance. Their punches are nice, they're throwing nice punches. I don't particularly like kickboxing, but they're showing that the ability to follow training. And a mark of intelligence is one's ability to follow instructions. You know, this is just a mark of intelligence. You know, and like I say, in training, a kid, you're gonna tell them 50 times, you know, to do something right, and then finally they start doing it because they're trained to do it. You know, and then when you get good players, then you go into national competition. Because we got fighters in national competition that don't even belong there. They're dropping their left hand and fighting like Lonzo Corbett, and they're easy to hit. They're easy to hit. But you hit them with John Wayne, here he's back here, you know, and that right hand comes bang from here. Everything comes from here forward. Nothing comes back. Nothing. They don't see it coming. They don't see it coming. 2 steps ahead, 1 back, 2 ahead, 1 back, 2 ahead, 1 back, 2 ahead, 1 back. And then after a while you're trained to do, you don't even think about it. If you go 4, 5, 6, if you chase this something like that, they'll run.
Finish this guy.
I'll tell you another trick.
You got that.
Yeah, this is nice.
Yep.
This is nice.
Yeah, big.
The referees always like Vaseline on your face. I used to grease my arms right down, really loaded, so I couldn't grab it. See, my arms would slip off.
To this day.
And then when I get in this guy, he couldn't hang on me. I could keep punching. And another thought too. The guy is grabbing onto you. Whichever hand he's grabbing, he can't hit you with that. He's got it tied up. If he grabs it here, you can slide his hand right straight up. And like this Lamada punch. I would never let a kid go. There's that punch. Now I go. You see how high I'm going? Okay, so if you hit him on the chin here, look at the drive you got. You see? And it's an effortless punch. But if you're back here, the guy's gonna nail you 5 times between now and the time you land it. If he's got any smarts. No, I would never permit a kid to throw a punch like that. It's with the AAU in 2 days. The first night I fought a John Tripp out of Bangor, Maine, and I knocked him out in the first and second round. The second fight I fought Charlie Tombstone Smith out of Los Angeles, and it was a tough fight. And I knocked him down 3-4 times, and I won a decision. Then the next fight, the next night I fought Jimmy Voss out of Utica. And I think about the 3rd round, he decided, I can't beat this guy. He just quit and turned around and walked to his corner. He says, I can't beat it. Then the final night, the final fight the same night, I'm up against Gordon Van Loel out of Bangor, Maine. He was a paratrooper and he was the All-Army champion, competing for the United States Army. So the first 2 rounds, I don't know, I thought I was doing all right. And then I come back to my corner in the 3rd round. And Carl says, he says, Billy, you got to knock this guy out. This fight is too close. He says, now on a close decision, who do you think is going to win? Billy Counts from Hicksville or Gordon Van Loel from the All-Army? Who do you think is going to win? I said, well, I don't know whether I answered him or not, but I went out and I got a hook on him and he went down and I stopped him and won the fight. So we avoided losing by decision. I'll never forget, you might believe this, I don't know if you can believe it or not, but a lot of times in the fighting process, as you're working, you'll either get lazy or forget to punch. See? Now, we went up as a Niagara district and Sammy Sacco, he was a Niagara district referee. He went up with the team, and I knew his voice. I knew Sammy's voice. So as the fight progresses, you know, I catch I hear Sam, punch, 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 punch. That's all he said. Carl couldn't say, they don't let the corners holler out. Sammy's out there, punch, 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 punch. You know, so he's reminding me that I'm not punching. See? So that little bit could have turned his knife on, because I knew his voice. You know, punch, punch, and I'm standing there doing nothing. You know, and saying punch, punch, for the whole damn fight. And I always remember that. You know, little things that you remember along the way. Little things been said. And I never forgot that. Sammy, he was all right. Referee a lot of my fights.
What year was that?
53.
53?
Yeah.
Did you go become pro after that then?
Yeah. And then I got drafted. The Korean War was on, and I got drafted on the 30th of July, and they signed the armistice on the 9th of July. I got drafted, and they signed the armistice on the 30th in Korea. So our whole company, we went to Germany. I went to Dublin, London, Paris, Amsterdam, Vienna, Antwerp, Rotterdam. You know, took the grand tour, had a ball over there, yeah. Piccadilly Circus, you know, walked down the Avenue des Champs-Élysées, around the Eiffel Tower, the Gardens of Tuileries, the Mona Lisa. I went to,
Did you fight much over there?
yeah, in the Army, yeah. I went to the Duke of Wellington, defeated Napoleon. I went to his home, and the guy's name was Arthur Wellesley. When this little baby laying in the cradle, his mother named him Arthur. And his family name is Arthur Wellesley. And he got to be the first Duke of Wellington. I guess Victoria knighted him. So I got a telephone call one day, and he says, "Can you tell me the name of the man that defeated Napoleon?" This was on the telephone. "Can you tell me the name of the man that defeated Napoleon?" I says, "Yeah." He says, "Arthur Wellesley." She says, "No, you're wrong. It was the Duke of Wellington." I says, "You asked me for his name, not his title." She didn't even know it. So it's some magazine company or something. Then I won a bunch of magazines, you know. And then I got a bill for, I don't know, $300, $400, $500. I never paid it. I never paid it because they ordered it.
How long was the period then between your winning the championship and your first professional fight?
I'm guessing, yeah. I never fought amateur after that. But Carl, I would have been better off if he had put me in the National Guard, and I wouldn't have had that 2-year life. You know, because I picked up some bad boxing habits. You know, and I don't care. A bad habit, an analogy for a bad habit, is it'll never be a good habit. 100 years from now, it's still a bad habit. You know, dropping your left hand is the most popular bad habit. But an analogy for a bad habit is you take a piece of an antique furniture made 100 years ago with the work of a craftsman, the master hand of a craftsman. You got a nice piece of furniture, you got an antique worth value today. A piece of junk made 100 years ago is still a piece of junk today. You know, it'll never be a high class, it'll never be an antique of value. Junk is junk. And it'll never come to the texture of good craftsman. I like to use that analogy because a lot of people think if it's 100 years old, it's an antique. Junk is junk. You know, 100 years from now, it's still junk. Yeah.
Bill, did you ever meet a guy named Smut Warren?
Not really.
He was Bobo Olson's sparring partner.
I met Bobo Olson. I met him. Met him at the boardwalk down in Jersey City when I was in the Army. He was training me for Robinson. I think it was Randy Turpin fight.
Well, Smut Warren was a middleweight boxer I met in Korea, and he was Olson's sparring partner in Presidio.
From Basilio? Yeah.
And I ended up going to his corner man in Korea and Japan. And he went on to take on everybody, middleweight. And remember, he fought the Japanese middleweight champ. And the third round, he's faking with the right instead of hitting with the right. And I said, "What's wrong?" He said, "Don't worry about it." He won the decision. He broke 3 knuckles.
I do,
That was it.
you know, I do admire the kickboxers.
Incredible.
And once you lose them, break their knuckles.
Is there?
You know, their punches are nice, their kicks are nice. It's got nothing to do with, boxing,
Should, did,
but.
Hey, Tony.
they're-
should Dad keep a scrapbook of his, did your dad keep a scrapbook of his
Yeah,
career?
they're doing it right.
There was a scrapbook, but it got lost.
Boxing,
It got burnt. But I got some pictures, I got some painted on it. Not too much.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can get a chance.
Does
That whole,
anybody care for
that whole Jimmy Clark story kind of really needs to be told.
I
It's
see, I
like,
grew up with it.
yeah.
I was 8 years old and I see this black man kiss my mother on the forehead. You know, but he was in my house all the time
Yeah.
until my father let him go. He'd take him to a fight. And he said, you got a tough fight tomorrow. Get some sleep. 12 o'clock, he'd go check on him in the hotel. And he'd have a party going.
Well, we're gonna have Billy wrap it up, we're getting, and you kept everybody on the edge of their seat though.
Hey, it's better to build boys than repair men. And a lot less cheaper. And a lot, I'd say most all of the kids that, are gonna get into boxing are delinquents, and they're not, they haven't had the character guidance. And you start a gym and you start teaching these kids how to fight, you gotta train them to stay out of street fights. Because they give the gym a bad name. You know, you get a kid, you get a kid in a gym, you get on a street fight. They gotta use their head and walk away from it. Don't get into damn places where they're gonna beef fights. Because you get a kid bringing his elbow up, and if his hand's not right, he's gonna break his hands. If he breaks his hands, or he breaks a kid's jaw, you give the damn gym a bad name.
Is it true that professional boxers' hands are legal weapons?
I'll talk to the lawyer. I would say so.
You always hear that.
Yeah.
What's that based on, Greg?
The idea of a lethal weapon?
Lethal weapon?
I don't know.
It's pro and con. You can always say, well, I quit because I wasn't no good. You know?
Well, I once ran into Willie Pastrano.
Yeah, right anyway.
And was talking to him about his career, and he was working for the New Orleans Correctional Institute. And he said, if you reflect back on your career, Willie, you know, what do you think? And he says, you know, Greg, it's better to be a has-been than a never was. And I thought that was really neat little statement.
Well, Billy, thank you very much for, again, coming and sharing and bringing all the memorabilia with you. Phenomenal collection you have.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you.